Righty. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's going on, my people? This is your guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here. And we have here with us George, Coach G, Morning in the house. What's up, Coach?
What's happening, sir? What's happening? We ready for another night here. I'm not fighting you tonight, though.
We got something. We got something going tonight. Listen, it's gonna be, we always be powerful, but tonight we gonna have a real conversation for real men. That's it. Real conversation for real men. So we gonna get ready to get this thing popping. We gonna get this thing going. This is what we gonna do.
What's up, It's your nephew, LA Mars. We gonna do it one time for the people like this. Race Corner Live, Race Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. From Camden across the world, you can see that he's beneficial. Never the same topics, he's speaking on different issues. Preaching at different churches, to speaking at different venues. Ray is that living proof that Jesus is really with you. Controversial issues, he gon' talk about it. Without Ray's Corner Live, hear his thoughts about it. If you ain't tuning in, just know you tripping, homie. This ain't all about religion, it's the wisdom, homie. And the vision, homie. It was written, but sometimes you gotta listen just so you complete the mission, homie. Ray's Corner Live, he got a testimony. I just thank God he got these blessings for me. For real. I learned not to even mess with phonies. Never. Ray's Corner Live, he got a message for me. Thanks. I said a message for me. Ray's Corner Live, he got a message for me. Go. Ray's Corner Live, Ray's Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. Ray's Corner Live, Ray's Corner Live. Never be surprised, Ray is on the rise. God is on our side, so we gon' survive. God is on our side, so we gon' survive.
What's up, my people? What's up, my people? What y'all got crack-a-lacking out here on Ray's Corner Live? Hey, man, Brother George, listen. I'm gonna turn this thing on, but let me say something to the people, just a little bit. I just want to say a few things to the people this evening. We're gonna tell y'all, welcome to Ray's Corner Live, because this is a real conversation for real men. This space is for men who are tired of pretending, Brother George, who's tired of carrying everything alone, who's tired of conversations that never go deep enough. We talking about pressure, y'all. We talking about identity, y'all. We talking about accountability, y'all. We talking about faith and relationships and addiction and fatherhood, and most importantly, that internal battles that men don't usually admit to. That deep thing that's deep down inside. No image, no performance, just honest dialogue, real life experience. If you're ready to deal with what really going on, you're in the right place. Take it over, Coach G. It's all on you. Welcome to Ray's Corner Live.
What's happening, family? Listen, he says it's all on me tonight, but you know the tag team is happening. He can't stay quiet. It's not built into his DNA right now. As a matter of fact, I wish he'd just go ahead and tell y'all why he's trying to pass the mic off tonight. I think it'd be a great conversation because I think it actually ties in to everything we're about to discuss tonight. I mean, I'm looking at the questions we got here, And I really think these questions are going to fall in line. But seriously, all jokes aside, looking ahead coming into this week, and also just kind of really reflecting about Ray's Corner, brother, and the work that you have started here, the platform that you have here. And one of the biggest things that and I think we're going to talk a lot about this, tonight, and it might just come out of having this conversation, but I'm happy that we have a platform that does not feed into a particular way of thinking, and it's rooted more in the in allowing men to break the scripts that they have been programmed to operate in. So when we get an opportunity to be able to do that, and let's be honest, every single man has had to rewrite the script at some point in time. Like, that's just part of growth. That's part of life for us. Like, everybody here rewrote the script of being a superhero to being a sports athlete. And then from being a sports athlete to whatever career path or profession or lifestyle you chose coming after that, we have continually written the script. And I think a reason why, but I think that leads us to the question, why? Like, why do we keep going through this process of reinvention? What is this thing that men have about not just being able to look at something for what it is, but when men look at something, it's funny. I tell a lot of the men that I work with in my coaching practice, men and women marry for entirely two different reasons. You know what I mean? Like, women will marry for potential. He has the ability to be a great dad. And men will marry for the right now. But even in us wanting what we see in the right now, we fail to understand that at some point in time, that script still gets rewritten. So again, if from a biblical space, because I think this is where things get a little twisted sometimes, in a biblical space, we're given clear sets of instructions. So how do we get to the point today? And I'm not speaking solely about January 27, 2026, but how do we get to the point today where men are so disjoined and with the varying scripts that we have out here? I mean, it's going after the bag, it's going after the baddie, it's going after the position, it's going after revenge, it's going after the best body, it's going after, we aspire, to so many things, which in and of itself is a beautiful thing. In and of itself, the ability to simply dream and want to be more is a beautiful thing. But I think there's a lot of us who find ourselves in a hamster wheel of change. It's the change that's happening around you, but nothing's changing inside of you. And I think most of us are looking to rewrite the script on the outside, because the real part is that we've been trying to rewrite the script you got to walk around with on the inside. So if we make the outside look a little bit different, then we can somehow make the inside feel a little bit different. And so whenever the inside ain't feeling right or different or moving, then we'll switch gears in a heartbeat. We'll say, obviously, this ain't it. We'll jump from relationship to relationship, career to career, entrepreneurial piece to this. We'll have a brother who owned a barbershop, a restaurant, a food truck, and just still unfulfilled, still out here trying to find. So that's what we're again, I know we got some pieces to cover tonight, man, but
stay right there. See, now I'm getting ready to go to left field, because you just listen. Who's the director? Let me tell you who the director is of this script. Masculinity is the director of this script. The world system about how a man should be. That's why we chase the bag. That's why we're ever evolving into stuff that the world system say we're supposed to be. That means that we don't cry, we don't shed tears, we put our foot down, we wear the pants. If somebody look at you too hard, what you looking at me for? If somebody step on my shoe, this director is masculinity dictating who we aren't. And we're talking about in Christ, we're talking about our natural, who we are. What is our purpose, our identity? Our identity is in masculinity. Our identity is found in purpose. And purpose allows me to see who I am and makes me, watch it, internally feel good about myself because I'm not chasing something that all my life they said I should be and I never achieved.
I promise y'all, I said I wasn't trying to fight tonight.
I'm just saying. I keep
I
telling you,
spoke so
stop
calmly.
masculinity stuff. That he directing you.
Well,
Oh,
so
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna,
turn it back over to you.
we're
Wait,
gonna
wait,
have a
wait, wait.
good
No, we can wait,
conversation.
wait. I was in prison. I'm telling you, it's guys that been in there 30 seconds of trying to be masculine, got them 10 to 20, 30 to life, 5 to 10. Being masculine when they could have just walked away. That director of masculinity is the world system dictating to us who we are. He trying to tell that masculinity totally got us opposite of who God wants us to be. We keep teaching masculinity. We keep telling our little boys, be a man, man up, 7, 8 years old, man up. But we never define what a man is because we don't have the definition ourselves. Now, what you gotta say, sir? Because I see you.
I'm just, here's the beauty of my life. And this is going to tie into a couple of the pieces of this conversation. But one of the best things I'm so grateful for in recovery is I just let people talk. Because here's exactly why I let you talk. You had a chance to do 3 things. You got all that energy out your system, number 1. Number 2, you highlighted the actual issue. And number 3, you proved my point. I appreciate you. This worked out better than I thought. I told you.
I was agreeing with you.
But so here's the one space where I want to back up, because what you mentioned towards the end is where I would apply it in the beginning. And you mentioned that we have this really messed up, and here's the key word, definition. You said it. You said we're telling 7, 8-year-old boys to be a man. We're telling people to go man up. You said it. You're out of your mouth. People are in jail because for 30 seconds they was trying to be masculine or identify with what they have been given as the definition of it. That's what and that really ties into what the issue is at this point. I get around Paul, but it's like asking what's a Christian. You go to a different part of just the country. Forget about the world. Forget about the world's definition of Christianity and what it means in Middle East versus what it means in parts of Asia versus what it means in Russia and then America. There's a different meaning of Christianity in Tennessee than it is in Georgia. It's a different meaning of Christianity in DC than it is in Texas. Like we have distorted so many things in order to serve some other ulterior purpose. So one of the things that in we can kind of here's what I don't want to do. Well, we will still end up doing. Not saying what I don't want to do, but for the people that come in and listen to this, the easy part of this game is listening to the communication that we're saying right now about, hey, you was told bad information. The hard part of this conversation, though, that y'all need to hear is what it actually takes to get the right conversation. Because a lot of y'all are out here, and I believe that ultimately men, we truly do desire not just the best, but we want the best for us. Like, I think that we look on society and in media, and we get so consumed what we think is what should be the best for us. So that is wrong, but I think we're still trying to pursue that. So men, let me help you out. We talked a lot about the script. We talked a lot about these definitions that are false that we end up giving. So how do we get to the right space? And while I can't speak specifically for the brother that's watching right now, I'm going to tell you what it was for me. Hands down. April 16th, 2023. I promise you, I remember like it was yesterday. I walked past my bathroom mirror. I stopped. I saw the image of myself. I said, "You're disgusting." It wasn't just disgusting outside because physically I was horrible and out of shape, but in that one moment, I also saw the inside of me. I saw me internally, and the inside of me was filthy. It was just filthy. It was in that day that I decided that, you know what? I need to quit drinking. Here's the second opportunity that happened. April 19th, 2023. I'm walking up the stairs. I got one court date left in front of me about being able to finish up this custody matter with my kids. I'm behind on my rent. I done threw everything I had into alcohol and my attorney. Basically, that's what it was. I was just trying to make sure I was sober enough to get to court so we can get this court process over. And then I went and drank because I got tired of dealing with all this stuff around court. I was in such a space of depression. I was fighting a battle with depression. I had no idea I was fighting. I didn't even know I was in a fight with it. So April 19th, I walked up the stairs. And in that moment, I realized two things. Number one, George doesn't have another out. You see, part of the script that men have is that we always got to have a plan. Part of the script that men have is that we always got to have a plan B or a plan C, or we got to be able to figure out a way to make this work because, hey, that's what men do, right? Men make it work. Men make it happen. Don't no woman want no man that can't get out here and get it done and figure it out, men. Me and every remaining thread of what I thought was masculinity and being a man walked up those stairs, and I said, God, I don't have no other tricks. I said, I don't have a conversation I can have. I don't got a person I can call. I don't got a resource I can tap into. I have nothing. I submit. Now, men, I want to give you a pointer on language right now because this conversation is about language. It's about definitions. We talked about that earlier. We've thrown around masculinity. We've thrown around man, but for decades, if not centuries, we have had the most distorted definitions of these things. Most people come into this space with God, and it is a surrender. And here's what a surrender is. Surrender is when you just simply got beat down and you say, you know what? I give. But people who surrender always try to fight again. People who surrender, like if you said, hey, I surrender, God, and you looked up one day and thought you was doing your own plan, it's because a part of you said, as soon as God gets me out of this situation, I'm going to go ahead and do what I wanted to do to begin with. Men, I submitted. Submitted is willingly laying down with every bit of fight that I got. I didn't have to get beat down. I just chose. I'm done fighting, God. This whole thing, me is all you. And men, I will tell you, for the next 2 going on 3 years this April, he took me in a space that literally rewrote my entire script about what I thought I knew about manhood. I thought men didn't cry. That was a whole lie. I thought men didn't talk to other men about their real problems. That's a whole lie. I thought men didn't go to therapy. That's a whole lie. I thought men didn't tell. Oh, here's a biggie right here. I thought men held on to secrets. Some of y'all going to connect with that. I thought we were supposed to hold on to secrets. Like I thought we were supposed to keep something in the tuck. We don't tell everybody everything about my journey to get to where I got to. I realized that's a lie. I realized all these. I thought the idea about what my image should look like even as a man, that got completely tossed out the window in this process. It took 3 years of me submitting for God to be able to get out of it. And again, that sounds like a lot of time. But that's 3 years at the age of 44. 43, actually. I was 43. That's 3 years at the age of 43. He took 3 years and said, we're going to rewrite your entire script. And I'm still reading the daggone play. I don't even know the conclusion of the thing. I can tell you the chapter I'm in right now.
Wait. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick. Just real quick. At what point did you realize you wasn't struggling with circumstances, you were struggling with yourself?
Oh, sorry about that, man. My last recovery, and I'm knocking on wood and saying that, right? Like I'm praying it's my last recovery. Nothing ever happen again. But man, that moment I told y'all about, when I admitted I wasn't in control, all that I said about, listen, I don't got another resource, I don't got another one of these, I don't got another one of these. That was me finally saying I'm not in control. When I think that my life is messed up because of circumstances and not me, that's me saying, oh snap, I'm in control, but my headlight was out. I'm in control, but my tail light was out. I'm in control, but she just had a bad day and she shouldn't have came home when she came. I'm in control. My job is the one that got a problem with a strong-minded black man, but I'm in control. It's these crazy circumstances. Men, April 19th. And listen, I want to tell, I'm hoping you all hear this so that you don't fixate yourself on the date, but how that date got there. Men, he took a year of breaking me down to get to that point. I would pray most of y'all don't have to go through what I went through. I would pray most of y'all will willingly choose to submit before you have to get broken down in order to submit. But men, I was coming out of a whole drunken bender. I lost my vehicle. I'm already about 2-3 months behind on my rent. I got one court case left, but I've been beaten down so much emotion, but every other court case I had to deal with regarding my kids. I was like, what's next on the line for me? Like, man, I had no real sense of morality when it came to interacting with women in relationships. I just wanted something to make me forget about the day and make me go to sleep. That's my life. That's what I had coming into that moment of submission. So it's not the space. Here's the unfortunate part. When we talk about rewriting the script, guess what? No one ever wants to rewrite the script when it's a good day. No one wants to admit that they're struggling with them when it's a good day. If it's going good, oh, you winning. What you mean I'm struggling with me? Don't you see how beautiful the sun is shining, how beautiful my wife is, how the cars look, how the house look, how well behaved the kids are? I'm perfect. Man, I'm telling you, don't let that external image be the definer of whether or not the issue is you.
So let me break down this process. Right? So because with this is a solution, like some of you guys, your circumstances, you're struggling with certain things, you're doing certain things in life, right? So here's the solution. This is where this healing starts, right? Stop lying to yourself. Get honest with yourself about who you are and what you are and the things that you do. In a situation, I talk to guys all the time. I deal with, most of y'all know I deal with homeless guys. But watch this. I deal with guys homeless, coming out of prison, all those things. But I expect that from them. But the quote unquote normal brothers that play you like you don't understand or you don't see what they're doing. And they're lying to themselves about who they are and their status in life. So the first thing you got to do is tell the truth to yourself about who you really are. The thing listen, we can talk about your shortcomings, we can talk about your character defects, right? But you know them, you live them. The image, remember we talked about, it's not about image. At some point, we got to carry this image. We got to look sharp, and we got to do this. We don't want people to know what's going on internally, right? But it doesn't matter because we're lying to ourselves about who we really are. And here's the thing. It's a two-part. One case scenario, we're lying to ourselves. The other case scenario, we don't know who we are, and we're lying to ourselves because we're putting up this facade about who we think we are, based on masculinity, based on the world system, based on our environment, based on our geographical location, based on where I come from, based on who I am, based on who my family is, based on my name. See, that's the first thing. We got to start. We got to tell the truth for this. So when I got on that second floor fire escape with that 357, right? I had to come to reality. Like, well, matter of fact, before that, when I was on that in that house where I was selling dope, I looked out the window, seen the sticker boys, and I seen the narcs out there. I had to come to reality, right? I heard a voice say, "If you don't leave this place, you're going to prison or jail. You're going to prison for the rest of your life, or they gonna kill you." I had to get honest with the first time in myself. Like, I'm looking at my condition, I'm looking at my situation, right? I'm looking at my circumstance. I had to get honest with myself. When I got on that second floor fire escape, I still was lying to myself. I was saying it's better to take me out than to deal with life and change. So number two, we gotta take responsibility. See, it's not about blaming somebody for what I did or what I didn't do or who wasn't there or who was there. The woman put me out and all that stuff. It's not about blaming. It's about taking ownership that I made some decisions, right? That listen, nobody made that decision for me to pick up that pipe, to pick up that dope, to pick up that weed, to pick up that woman, to do. No one made that decision for me but me. I can blame, well, I grew up in the projects and man, things was kind of hard and I need some relief. And I ain't had no money and I had to do this and I had to do that. If it wasn't for myself, if I had that silver spoon or that gold spoon, life would be changed. No, it would still been the same because your decision, we're not capable sometimes of making sound decisions. That's another thing about getting honest, but taking responsibility, like for the condition that I'm in. This was my life. Those was my choices. This is my work to do on me. It's no one else's responsibility, like to make me better, to make me whole, to make me feel better, that I'm healing. That it's nobody else's responsibility. So I got to take responsibility. And then what happens? Like number three, write that down. Number three. Let me do number one is tell the truth. Write that down. Number two was take responsibility. And number three, stop isolating. Man, listen, at the end of my road, when I was out there on them streets, man, I didn't want to be around nobody. One, I didn't want to be around nobody because I didn't want to share I didn't want to share my dope. That's one thing. Two, I was in so much pain, man, and I just couldn't be around people because like I couldn't, I just could it was like I just felt pain all the time. I felt disgusted all the time. I felt hurt and isolated. See that isolation, right? I broke the silence and isolation by just talking to myself. So you got to understand, like strong men don't disappear. They connect with other strong men. See, when I started isolating, right, I thought that was the solution because nobody couldn't see me. Go back to lying to myself, but I wanted to be seen. But I didn't want to be seen in the condition that I was in. So I kept not being seen, but I wanted to be seen, but I didn't want to be seen in the condition that I'm in. So I'm constantly like going through this turmoil. Coach G talks about this hamster wheel going around in a cycle and cycle and cycle. I want to be seen. Here I am, here I am. Oh, but now this is not really me. So don't really look at who I am right now. But I do want you to see me. I'm still here, but I'm not. But what you're seeing, I'm still in here somewhere. Is what I was saying. And number four, had to get some structure. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Feelings don't change lives.
They sure don't.
Systems do. It don't matter make it. I feel like going home. I didn't have a home to go to. And my last thing I'm gonna say, got to do the work daily. You got to do the work daily. You just can't start doing when you I lived through feelings. Whatever I felt, I did. But when you do the work daily, it ain't about doing it when you feel like it. It's not about doing it when it's convenient. It's about a consistent day-to-day operation of working on that thing that I need to work on. It's a fact. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all can write this down. This is a bar, and I'm going to turn this back over to Coach D. It's a fact that you feel, but feelings are the fact.
I'm so glad you left that part in there.
Go ahead, Coach D.
No, brother, no. The pieces, what I love the pieces that you just mentioned. You know, we need real solid, clear steps, you know, pursuing these parts of us. You know, and the fact that you got to highlight, because what we don't want to always admit, particularly men, is that we are probably the most emotional beings. Like, even as a Christian, like if you believe in the Bible, even biologically, if a woman was made from the rib of man, we got to have more emotions than whatever was in the damn bone. We got to have more of everything. It was a bone that turned into a person. We were the actual person that the bone came from. So, like, we have to admit at some point, like, this image, and again, back to rewriting that script, to project ourselves as this so hard individual that we cannot feel, but we know deep down, like, that's why we try to find these small pockets, because of these emotions that we have. And we have to be able to one of the things that was key for me in my own journey, and that's why I'm so glad you mentioned it, I had the hardest time separating feelings and facts, like being able to hear things and feel things from what you hear, even though it's the truth. You know what? I had a conversation earlier today about just recovery and boundaries. You know, and the crazy part about both of them is that we want people to do it the right way we want it done. So even in recovery, we want somebody to talk us to recovery the right way. Like, make sure you tell me how great I am, and make sure you highlight all the wonderful things that I can be. And no, some people just need to be told, you a fool, you a drunk, and you messed up your whole entire life. You ready to get it right now? I ain't got time to sit up here and talk about the couple times you held down the job and the kid that loves you, even though he don't know how crazy you are right now, and all these other things that you want to feel good about yourself. I get it. And now your feelings hurt. I'm sorry, but those are the facts. Two things can be absolutely true at the same time. And that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. So I'm just glad that was the piece that you mentioned, man. That in addition to also the aspect of structure. You know, I'll tell you a quick story. So when I was sleeping on the couch, yes, y'all, I was bouncing from couch to couch for quite a while.
Couch surfing.
Brother, the tide never stopped. The tide never stopped, brother. But here, this almost going to sound like I was still using, but I wasn't. So I'm couch surfing, but I'm in Zillow. Every day, all day, I'm looking at my dream house, because, you know, you got to manifest this kind of ish. You know, you just can't be out here living couch to couch and trying to manifest nothing great. So I'm couch to couch. One of these couches happens to be my dad's couch, and in his home, he keeps a certain structure, which I'm not mad at all. Like dishes, empty the sink every night. I mean, it's common in hindsight, common sense stuff, but he has structure. Now, I tell you how I'm couch surfing and I'm looking at Zillow. I'm couch surfing, I'm looking at Zillow. Finally, I stop couch surfing. I get a home. It's not the home that I've been looking at on Zillow, but it is still my home that got a heck of a lot more than just the couch. My point being is that when I got to this home, it helped me to develop the structure that was being shown to me in another home. And then it also helped me to know how much more structure I'm going to need for my actual dream home. Brother, some of y'all out there right now, y'all desiring a life that looks so great, and it is so very different from the life you got right now. But you are missing the steps in between that. You haven't gotten to the middle ground part of that for you to even test out the things you think your best life is supposed to be. You got to get to that middle ground first, test out some stuff, see what works, what don't work. It blew my mind about how my little home right here, how many daggone Swiffers and disinfectant wipes I go through. I'm like, well, dang, in my dream house, I might as well buy stock in Clorox.
or get a maid.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying, though? Like, when I recognize the amount of upkeep required by myself in this home that is not my dream home, it puts it now into greater perspective what is actually needed for where it is I am actually trying to get to. Men, some of y'all are out here, and all right, you know what? Let me help y'all out real quick. I'm gonna help y'all. I'm gonna help y'all. Because some of y'all don't understand it when we talking about life and masculinity and man and faith and God. That goes over your head. I get it. Hey, bro, right now it's a shorty that you want to holler at. And you know good and well she ain't even looking in your direction right now. Like, she ain't checking for you. But this shorty right here represents the baddie of the, like, she is the epitome. But you ain't never had a girlfriend. Like, not even one that you liked like that. You had the ones that liked you, but not the ones that you went out and got. But now you're looking at this chick right here. My man, it's time for you to go out here and talk to some other women. It's time for you to step out your comfort zone. It's time for you to get to that little middle ground. It's time for you to maybe go on a couple dates, see what the environment is like. See if you can manage that, and then look at your life and say, what more do I got to increase to get to this next level? It's amazing. Men, bruh, we will rewrite the script for a car. We will rewrite the script for a job. Let a job pay you enough money. You will cut your hair. You will get rid of locks. You will be pro-black all day long till a job offer you a big enough check. My point is that we will change the script in so many avenues to obtain something because it is so tangible, which is probably one of the biggest faults of men, that we pursue things that are so very tangible, so very that tactile things that we can place our hands on, when the real game that me and you are discussing right now is not something you can put your hands on. Like, real manhood ain't something you can put your hands on.
Let me ask you
Heck, recovery ain't something you can put your hands on.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, brother.
Talking about, okay, who is your director, or are you directing yourself?
That's such an easy question right now. God. Easy.
Before God, who was it?
Because before God. Now there's the real.
There's a process you had to get to God.
Oh, absolutely. Before God, it was me.
So
I was George IMF in the second.
Wait, so I gotta say for me, right? Because the projects in the street was my directors. My old heads was the directors. Now watch this. I wound up doing drugs. Wound up being strung out on drugs. Wound up in prison. We in the projects. The old heads, this is in the 60s. Had rolling up the weed. We was very, that was all new. They would tell us, if you touch this, we will knock you out. Get over there on that basketball court. They would tell us, if you start drinking, I'm going to knock you out. Get over there on that football field.
Oh, we're going to have a generational gap conversation.
Watch this.
Brother. Latchkey kids ain't get that.
Wait, I was a latchkey kid. I was in the project. I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you, like,
the suburbs latchkey kids ain't get that.
Listen, I'm telling you, right? Listen, but you watch what the point I'm getting to. These old heads because they seen us playing sports. We used to have, we played little league, we played midget football. They would come to the games. We in the project because they gotta come. They come in there protect us because you're going to different places. But they were directing us how to live right. Watch this. Out of all the directions they gave me, I still wound up on drugs because when I became the director, I forgot the script that they wrote.
Ooh,
Think about it.
so
It was
I'm glad you
yeah,
had them.
yeah. But the point I'm
I
making
ain't
is
had
watch this.
them.
Watch this though. The point I'm making is sometimes that director is telling you right. Sometimes your parents is telling you right. Sometimes your woman is telling you right. Sometimes your kids is telling you right. Sometime in my life, like I have come to the understanding that there are areas that people need to like be the directors of my life because the script that I wrote or the script or the blank piece of paper that is nothing on the script caused me to be who I didn't want to be.
Okay, so let's
Go ahead.
reverse engineer your question
Go ahead.
because, well, I'm not going to speak for the audience. I'm gonna speak for me. I think that there's a step missing in what you're saying. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it because here's and we gotta fight about it, we're gonna fight about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got
only got
18
15
minutes,
Yeah,
and I got like 7 minutes.
yeah,
We gonna, I got my 7%. We're gonna make this work though. But here's what I mean, though. See, and it's not taking away from what you just said. I want to be very clear about that. I actually agree with what it is you just said, particularly on the back end about realizing at this point in your life that you know what I'm wise enough to know the input of others in my life is a valuable thing. So, and again, I won't even ask it. For me to get to that point, that was me having to knock me off the pedestal. So when you asked the question early and I said, oh, that's easy as God, I never got to the point of listening to another person until I got to the point of truly submitting to God. Like that was just me. Like for me, and even me younger, like absolutely they were influences. I'm not going to say they weren't influences. My dad was probably one of the most functional crackheads you're going to find in Washington D.C. behind Marion Barry. Like I wish that was a whole lie, but it's not. He knew how to. He conducted his business with crack and Schlitz malt liquor and wearing a suit and tie, tailor made every daggone day. I definitely had examples and influences, but when we're talking about who was the director, who did I actually listen to? My parents had to punish me to get me to listen to them. There had to be a punishment or a reward attached to it. Once George got to the point of being able to say, oh, finally, George can run this show without everybody else around me. Oh, George was a director. That's why George's first marriage ain't work out. George was the director. That's why George ain't have any. That's why it took George so long to realize he was dealing with the addiction, because George was telling himself, well, your daddy was an alcoholic with Schlitz malt liquor and drinking the 40s. George, you get good liquor. You can't be an alcoholic. Your dad was a drug addict because he was in back alleys getting crack cocaine. You can't be a drug addict because you like your Percocets that come when you get a crisis from dealing with sickle cell. Like I was the one that literally scripted and wrote, because and we can always go a little bit deeper, but that might take it to another conversation. But it wasn't until I got to that submission point with God that I was able to say, I know you ain't going to talk to me all the time, God. Like you ain't going to come down with a megaphone and scream on me. So I'm pretty sure you're going to use people to come and communicate with me and get the message across. So guess what I'm going to do? I'll listen to who you send my way. It took me having to first submit to God before I allowed other people to provide me any real measure of guidance. Right. And again, I want to use that word clearly. It wasn't me knowing God. It wasn't me reading the Bible. Been doing that for years. But full submission to him, full submission, yeah, that didn't happen. And once that happened, then and only then was I able to look at my son and say, I can get some information from you. Then and only then was I able to look at a person I was in a relationship with and say, I can actually like not be in charge all the time, in control all the time. I can let me listen. Because I knew that God used them to talk to me. Like I knew he wasn't coming out with a megaphone. I'm like, you're going to use your people. So again, a bit of a roundabout piece of getting that. But I like the fact that both of us have had to take, even if separate roads, to get ultimately to the same outcome. And because that's a huge thing of men, to not be able to be in a position of pure leadership, but being able to actually follow even those you think you're supposed to lead 24/7.
Man, I tell you, that was some deep stuff you just said.
No. I just paused a lot.
I'm really impressed. Hey, look, we gonna get ready to get out of here. Listen, I'm telling you, guys, here's the reality, right? Like Coach G, but he be dropping it as we used to say back in the day. He be dropping it like it's hot, right? But what this was getting ready to happen. I'm telling you, this was getting ready to happen. We're gonna end it right now. That's what's getting ready to happen. We get ready to stop this conversation. But here is if something in this conversation hits you, don't brush it off. Don't be numb to it. Don't sit with it. Deal with it. See, because you got to understand, growth doesn't start with motivation. And I always say this thing about motivation. Motivation gets you growing, but discipline keeps you growing. I'm gonna say it. Bam. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. And the reality, it starts with honesty. It ain't about being perfect. It ain't about being none of that. But it's about being responsible for your life. It's about being responsible for your choices. It's about being responsible for your healing. Ray's Corner Live, for real men, real talk. What's your closing remarks, Coach G?
Brothers, I appreciate you. Keep joining me and Silk Wilk here. I got to write this time. Keep joining me and Silk Wilk here. Look, you saw the intro. You see we're doing some big things. You're growing over here right now. Now's the time that you start sharing. Now's the time. Like, don't wait until this thing is just popping up on your For You page on Facebook or whatever. Now, get on board now. Get on board now. Love you, brothers.
Hey, like we always say here at Ray's Corner Live, God loves you and I love you. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace out.